Hey, what's up? Today, what I want to dive into is the topic about accountability and how to hold people accountable to the promises that they make, and how to hold people accountable when they have bad behavior, when they direct themselves with bad behavior with you. So if you allow people to break their promises and have bad behavior with you, they're going to keep on doing that, and then you're going to lose respect. You're going to lose respect in that, and it's going to show in a lot of areas in your life. So this is extremely crucial in the workforce, with your kids, with your family, with everybody. So what we're about to do is I'm going to show you a couple tools and techniques where you can hold people accountable, address their bad behavior, so that you can live a better and fulfilling life. We're about to jump into that now. All right, so we're here now, and in this section, I want to discuss how to address when someone has a bad behavior with you. When someone communicates with themselves in a bad behavior, which is they committed an infraction, they have violated a verbal cue, or they violated a physical cue with you, you can conduct yourself in this demeanor. You can address the content. What is going on? When you talk to them about this situation, you confront them, you want to address the content. What happened? 2, what is continuing to happen because and what is the pattern that you continue to see happening? And then 3, what are the consequences to the relationship because of this? So by describing what you do want to happen and what you don't want to happen, you can address that, and they'll start to see the what you want and what you don't want. All right. So when someone has broken in accountability, they start making assumptions of the other person. So they'll start making stories. And what these stories are called, they're called villain stories. So they'll start villainizing the other person. So they'll see something and hear something. That's number 1. Number 2, they'll start telling themselves a story. Number 3, they'll create an emotion. And number 4, they'll make an action. So instead of making assumptions and making villains and then giving the other person a villain character, it's best to confront that person right there and then on the spot, because you don't want these assumptions running around your head and letting that build up to one day you outburst and you create you violate or you get physical with the other person, and when that happens, now the spotlight's on you and the social pressure is on you instead of the other person, and that's something you do not want. You want to address the broken assumption as soon as it happens. All right, so now we're going to talk about something called the gap. And what the gap is when someone has broken a promise or violated an expectation, you want to set an expectation. What was expected out of them and what they did. So that's how you that is the gap from what is expected and what they did. Now, when you're letting someone know what you want, what is the expectation, and what you want them to do, and what they did, you want them to feel safe. If they don't feel safe, then that's not a good thing. You want them to feel safe. So how does someone feel safe? Well, there's one thing and 2 things. We're gonna start out with 1. 1, you have mutual respect for you and that person, and you also 2, you show that you also care about their goals, their personal and their goals in the workplace or wherever it's at. All right, so now what we're gonna get into is what motivation comes down to. And this is actually pretty simple, because what motivation comes down to is when you describe the consequence bundled to somebody. When people are not motivated, it's because they don't understand what are the consequences if they don't take action to do something. So if you want to have someone motivated and change their views to something, is by describing the effects of what will happen if they don't take action on that subject. All right, guys, so now we're gonna jump into barriers. When somebody has a barrier, when somebody can't come through with a promise, or when someone doesn't come through with a promise, or has bad behavior, it comes down to barriers. It comes down to the person having, one, ability barrier, or two, it's a motivational barrier. And when there's ability, then there's motivation. There's three subset that fall. There's three categories that subset under that. So under ability, there's personal, then there's structural, and then there's social. Maybe they have a personal ability. They personally can't do something, or structurally in the environment that they're in, they can't make it happen, or socially, they're an end from doing that. Same thing with motivation, personal, structural, and social. Socially unable to do it, structural, structural, personal, and socially unmotivated to do something like that. So when it comes down to making a promise and living up to it, you want to be able to spot out in that person if maybe they have actually just barriers, instead of maybe they didn't just want to not come through with that action. So take a look and see if it might just be a barrier issue. All right, so now we're gonna go into, when you give someone an assignment, you want to address what you want in specific. So if I'm giving you an assignment, you want to address what you want in specific and let them know who's going to be doing something, what you want them to be doing, by when, and follow up. And also, not just follow up with them, but also let them know if anything comes up, to let you know so you can have good communication and follow up with them. So they know the expectation of what is expected out of them. All right, guys. Well, this was an awesome video. We're gonna come up with more videos. So keep tuned to my channel, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.